Okay, hi everyone. Good evening once again. Welcome to the Kodecamp 3.0 orientation. My name is Favor Sunday, and I'll be kicking things off with an icebreaker session. But before I go ahead, please confirm you can hear me by raising your hands. Okay, awesome. That's good. So a bit of ground rules. Do well to raise your hand when you want to speak or if you have anything to say, except you're told otherwise. You can put down your hands now. Once again, you're all welcome, and I am so glad that we're here again. It's been a long wait and it was totally worth it. So for the stages in the orientation, right, so we're going to be doing two things. Firstly, I'd like for all of us to introduce ourselves using an emoji that best represents you. You can do that in the Zoom chat. Introduce yourself with an emoji that best represents you. Okay, I'm saying cool here, strong, angry, nice, sad. Ogochukwu Seradom, you're always happy. Someone is a cook here. Right. We have cool. Ninja, I'm seeing a crown here. Oh, royalty, nice. More cool stuff. Chukwudi is married. Happy, cool, cool. Heartbroken. I'm so sorry, simple so. Okay. Thank you very much for participating in that. So the next session, I'm just going to randomly call a few persons. And so this is how this is going to go. I'll randomly call someone. Then you're going to tell us two truths about yourself, two truths and a lie. Okay. I'm going to take that again. I'm going to randomly call somebody, and then you're going to tell us two truths about yourself and one lie. And then we're going to guess which one is a lie. I don't know if we got that. Okay. So I was going to pick somebody from here. Okay, Chiamaka. Can you unmute your mic? Tell us your name. Tell us two truths about yourself and a lie. And then somebody in the chat box is going to guess which one is a lie. Okay, I think Chamaka is not on the call, or she probably is not close to her phone. Do we have volunteers? You can raise your hands. Well, I'm just going to say this in case you guys are new on board. Camp is really not a dull place. Okay, I've got some volunteers. So who do we have here? Z. That name actually sounds or looks familiar. Okay, go ahead, unmute your mic. Okay, so Zell just build on us. Armstrong Julius. Okay, so I just called someone. I'm sure Julius, can you hear me? Can you unmute your mic? Emmanuel
Hello.
Balogun.
Hello, good evening.
Hi, good evening.
Armstrong Julius.
Okay. So go ahead, tell us your name, 2 truths and a lie about yourself, and we're going to guess which one is a lie.
Okay, my name is Armstrong Julius. Okay, I'm tall. I'm tall. That's one truth. And I don't speak.
Hold on, I'm sure. You're not supposed to tell us which one is the truth. Just tell us about yourself, okay? 2 truths and a lie. And then we're the ones supposed to guess which one is actually a lie. Do you understand?
Oh, okay.
Right.
Okay. I'm a dancer. I don't speak pidgin.
Okay.
I'm not a
Last
Nigerian.
one. Okay. Thank you. Okay, so we had him. So let's fill in the answers in the chat box. Okay, somebody said, na lie, you they speak pidgin. Okay, so obviously you speak pidgin. You are not a dancer. He's Nigerian. Saying you are a dancer is a lie. So we have saying your tall sounds like someone who is desperate for height. Wow. Shots fired. Okay. So I'm just going to call you back on the call. Unmute and tell us which is actually a lie out of the 3 things you said. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so which is a lie?
I'm a Nigerian.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much. So I'm just going to call the next person. Josephine Joseph. Please unmute your mic and go ahead. So you know the routine. Tell us your name. Tell us 2 truths and a lie. You don't have to identify which one is the truth or which one is a lie. Go ahead.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. My
Hi,
name is
Josephine.
Josephine Joseph. So I'm 25 years old. I'm married. I'm in Lagos.
Okay. All right. Chat box. Which one do we think is a lie? I mean, she has a very young voice. She ain't married. Okay. She's single. You are not 25 years old. Okay, Ogochu says you're not 25. Emmanuel Adebayo says you're not married. You're not married though. Evergreen says she stayed in Lagos. Elijah says she knows the Lagos. Wow, it's AK said it's rare for ladies to say their age. Nice one. Okay, now I'm just going to call you back on the call, Josephine. So which of this is a lie? I'd actually say you're not
I'm
actually
not
married.
married.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I got that. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so we have Zed. Zed, the floor is open.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, Zed.
Okay, 3 things about myself. About 3 years ago, I was in depression for about 6 months. I'm short and I'm Black.
You're obviously short. Okay, let's hit the answers in the chat section. Zoom user says you're short. AK says you're not Black. You're not Black. I mean, he said 3 things. Why are we attacking him with the shortness? Ogochuk says you're not Black. Yobu says he isn't short. I think some people know you personally. He hasn't been depressed before. Evergreen said that. You're not Black. You're not short. Joe. I think this person knows you personally. Okay, so Zed, please unmute your mic and tell us which of this is a lie.
Okay. I'm in fact Black, and truly I had depression when I was like 3 years back. I'm 6'5", so I'm tall.
I hope you're okay now, though. Thank you very much for
Yeah,
that.
I'm good. I'm good.
Okay, so I'm just
Thank
going to call up the next one last person, Emmanuel Balogun. Please unmute your mic.
Good evening.
Hi,
My name
good
is
evening.
Emmanuel. Okay, 2 truths and a lie. Firstly, I'm an only child. This is my first boot camp. And lastly, I play football.
And lastly, you what?
I play football.
Okay, all right, let's hit the answers in the chat box. Okay, Priska says first boot camp. AK says you don't like football. This isn't your first boot camp. You're not an only child. Okay, KK said that. Emmanuel Adebayo, I think some people know you personally here. Tochukwu says you don't play football. Ogochuk says this is not your first boot camp. Joshua said not the first boot camp. So Fumi says you don't play football. Okay, unmute your mic please and tell us which of this is actually a lie.
The lie is I don't play football. The lie is I play football. I don't actually.
Okay, so you don't play football. Okay, thank you very much for participating in that session. So for the next part of this orientation, I'm going to be calling on Mr. Ogochukwu Odom for the next session. Please, the floor is open. Mr. Ogo.
Good evening, everyone. Yeah. So you just confirm you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you.
All right. Yeah. Good evening, everyone. So my name is Ogochukwu Odum. I'm popularly known as Ogochuks. Most of you know me, or you've connected with me physically. So I'm going to anchor this section. It's an interesting one, and trust me, I know many of us are very eager to know what is happening right now. So I'm going to be introducing us to your mentors. How many of us are actually eager to meet your mentors and the team at large? How many of us, if you are, just show me an emoji or raise your hand or anything. Wow, I need more. I need more of that. Okay. Thanks for that. All right. So we've done KodeCamp 1.0, we've done KodeCamp 2.0, this is 3.0. And I must say, I am very thrilled to be part of this amazing journey. And I have a very powerful team, an exceptional team. that is made up of skilled personalities who are passionate about giving you the right skills that will help you in the world of tech. So without further ado, I would like to introduce each of them. Okay, coming up first is Boma, Miss Boma. If you're on the call, please, can you give a shout out?
Hello, everybody. Good evening. It's nice to be here.
Yeah, so Boma is our UI UX trainer for the intermediate level. So get ready for her to, she will train you guys. So I think that's about that. All right, so the next person, please. Okay, this is Mr. Christopher. I can't pronounce his surname. So Mr. Christopher, can you give us a shout out?
Yeah, good evening, everyone. My name is Christopher Sisu, and I will be your Node.js intermediate trainer.
Okay, that Susu sounded like the Netflix movie that I saw recently. I hope you're not that man. Okay, so he actually says he eats Node.js for a living. So for those of us who are on the intermediate level, yeah, you guys are actually going to be dining with him. So get your utensils ready and be sure to enjoy the meal. All right, the next person. Okay, meet Mr. David Edu. He's going to be a mentor for the front-end web development. Mr. David, can you give a shout out to us? Okay, probably he's not on the call. So just on a light note, he has actually, Mr. David was like part of the previous bootcamp, but now he's actually a mentor. So Kodecamp is where you can actually learn and then come back to share your knowledge. And this is an example of what we actually give out. This is our material. This is our product. Let me not use material, it sounds somehow. All right, so let's go on to the next person. All right, our very own Miss Favor. Miss Favor. She is our trainer for the UI UX beginner. She's actually a hurricane and a storm. So Miss Favor, can you give a shout out?
Hi everyone. So as what you heard earlier, my name is Favor Sunday. It's nice to meet you all here.
Wow. Will you believe that there's a hurricane and a storm? I don't know where she got that from actually. Okay. Okay, so let's go on to the next person. All right, we have God First Onoha, and he's actually a mentor for the mobile app development. Mr. Godfirst, can you give a shout out?
All right. Good evening, Code Campus. I'm Godfirst Onoha. It feels good to be here. Thank you so much.
Okay. Well, you guys should just encourage him, yeah? Encourage him in the chat. Okay. So for those of us on the mobile track, we'll actually.
I don't mute your mic.
Are you okay?
Sorry, please, can we not unmute our mic, please? All right, so for those of us on the mobile app track, you guys will be meeting God First. I kind of feel like he speaks differently from when he chats, so something of that sort. All right, so nice to have him here. All right, so let's move on to the next person. Okay, we have Miss Hilda Joseph. She is actually our social media manager. All the good stuff you've been seeing on the social media, this is the hand behind it. So let's give a shout out to, okay, sorry, a shout out from Miss Hilda, please. Miss Hilda,
Good
can
evening,
you?
everyone. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah,
And that
it feels good to be back to Kodecamp, and I'm excited to be here.
Okay, okay. So yeah, when she says it feels good to be back, she was actually in the previous cohort, and she is back now to also give back. So nice to have her with us. All right, the next person. Oh, okay. So this is I don't even know how to start introducing this one, but this is this is the man with the keys. Let me just put that one. His name is Ikechukwu Achom, and he is actually a trainer for the mobile app track. Most of us. Someone said this is violence. Okay, for the returning learners and all of that, you guys know him and all of that. So let's have a shout out from him. I don't want to cast him.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Yeah, my name is Kate Kachom. Once again, it's really good to be here. Good evening. Thank you very much, Olochko.
Okay, okay, don't worry. You guys will know why he's the man with the keys. Okay, so let's go on to the next person. All right, we have Mr. Liberty Sunday. Mr. Liberty Sunday is the graphics designer. So all the beautiful designs you've been seeing, this is the man behind it. So can we have a shout out from Mr. Liberty?
Hi, Tim. Hi, everybody. Good evening. It's really good to be here, and we have a full house today.
Wow. Okay. You're this. It seems like you're in an airplane, and I don't know. Yeah. So I actually felt the same way. So that's Mr. Liberty. Probably is in an airplane actually. I don't know which country you're going to. All right. So let's go back to the next person. Oh, we have Miss Menem Joseph. She is a mentor for the UI UX track. Yeah. Can we have a shout out? This is another of our products. Please, Miss Menem, can you give us a shout out?
Hi, everyone. Good evening. My name is Menim Joseph, and I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
Okay. Nice to hear from you. I hope Lagos is not dealing with you so much. Trekkers Association. I hope it's not that bad, Miss Menim. Okay, probably she's far away. All right. Your voice sounded down anyway. Okay, so let's go on. Let's go on to the next. Okay, obviously I do not know this person. I actually do not. Okay, so this is my humble self. I am Ogochukwu Odum, and I'm going to be a trainer for the React track that's still under front-end development. I don't know how I even introduce myself, but this is a shout out to everybody. And officially, I'm actually looking for my own peer. Please, who will be my peer? Okay, so that's me. Let's go back to the next person. All right. So we have another wonderful person. Suddenly his name is now hard for me to pronounce. Okay, so his name is Abdul Rahim Sharif Dean, known as Simple Soul on Slack. Fun fact. Well, I will not say that fun fact about him anyway. But when I met this person physically, I was blown. So he's actually a trainer for the front end web development. Those of us in front end just get ready for a power-packed session. So a shout out to Simple Soul. I don't know why he's simple. Simple Soul.
Yeah, hello, good evening, everyone. My name is Simple Soul, and I'll be training on front-end development for beginner. It's nice to meet everyone. Thank you.
Okay. Hilda, how do you know that he is simple? Fun fact. Okay, that was on a lighter note anyway. So next person. Okay, we have another person, Mr. Victor Peter. He's a trainer for the Node.js track. Fun fact, he glows. Mr. Victor, are you on the call? Can you give us a shout out?
Hello, good evening, everybody. It's nice to be here.
Are you sure you're still glowing? And they say about developer. Are you still glowing? Okay, Ari is saying, be my pal. Everybody be your pal, be your pal. Okay. All right. I think that's the last. Oh, okay, yeah. And the program manager for KodeCamp 3.0 is none other than Ikechukwu Achom. And that was why I told you guys that you see why he's the man with the keys. So this is a fake life. Okay. Okay, so Ikechukwu Achom, like we've met him before as a trainer, but he's also the program manager, and he's actually a wonderful person. For those of us that have met him before, you know that he's actually a nice person. He's actually a nice guy. He's a cool guy. Okay. I think, is there any other person? That's about the last. Okay, so these are our wonderful mentors, and you can actually reach out when you have challenges, when you have issues, not pestering their DMs and all of that. So we can actually ask so that your peers can also learn. And this is from me to all the new learners joining us. Get ready for an unforgettable experience, one that will take you from, it's actually going to be a fun experience, I must say. I've been in the first cohort, the second cohort, and I know what it does. So it actually takes you from being a newbie to a probie. And for the returning people, get ready. You sharpen your skills, you get better, you connect with a community of like-minded individuals, and just have fun, learn, enjoy, and yeah. So this is my thank you, and I doff my hat for you guys. All right, over to you, Miss Favor.
Hi, so the next session will be handled by Mr. Lawrence. Mr. Lawrence, are you on the call, please?
Hello, yeah, everyone, good evening. I'm on the call. Can I be heard?
Yes, we can hear you, sir. Go ahead.
Go ahead with what? What is the next session?
Okay, you're supposed to tell us about Kodecamp, sir.
Oh, okay. All right, just to confirm. All right. So, good evening, everyone. So like Favor said, I've been favored to be the one that will talk about Kodecamp. So I would like to actually share my screen. Please, if you can unshare screen so that I'll be able to. All right, thank you. All right, so quickly, we're going to be talking about Kodecamp. Please confirm when the screen is up. I just need a confirmation. Is it up?
Yes, sir, we can see your
Yeah,
screen.
there's a fine boy there, yeah, looking like Ogo. So smiling at us, the idea is when you make money and you can take care of yourself, you begin to smile like that. Right now, everywhere is rough. So the whole idea is to build a skill economy. So you could see the two words there, skill and economy. So we actually believe that we can, harness, what we have by doing a massive online training that seeks to upskill Nigerians, by extension Africa. So for now, we're focusing on Nigerians, sure. So to address the growing global demand in digital skills. I know it might be sounding somehow. Is it actually a growing demand? The answer is yes. And within the presentation, actually, you'll be able to understand what I mean. In the body industrial 4.0. So Industry 4.0 is all about cyber physical interaction, for those that don't know. For instance, if you probably just take a campus classroom, for instance, if you enter the classroom, all you're going to see is human beings. Like if you come to University Park, you see everybody carrying phone. So that's the physical space. But that phone they are carrying is transmitting one data or the other through Wi-Fi, connecting to maybe a MiFi, or maybe you're using a laptop and everything. These are things you can't see, but information is traveling around. If there's a technology that can allow you to actually picture the data that is flying around and everything, you understand that around us is all about data. We are now living in a world where in every household, in every species, someone is either on on one platform or the other. There are devices connected to the internet, and information is flying around, but you can't actually touch this information. So Industry 4.0 is all about this part of the world that we can't touch and we can't see, interacting with the part of the world we can touch and we can see, like your smart devices and all that. Now, what are we talking about now? Almost everybody has a smartphone. More people are going to acquire smartphone in the nearest future. The number of people that had smartphone 5 years ago is not the same with the number of people that have smartphone now. Probably if you had one, a lot of people will be having two, a lot of people have issue. So right now we are kind of digital human beings. Like if you go to a bank, the bank system does not really identify you, it does not recognize you, it recognizes the BVN. So that your BVN, as far as Nigeria is concerned, is you. If you remove one number, if there is a mistake, you're filling any form, your identity is gone. If you go to an ATM and miss one of your PIN, I think I'm getting a background noise. Please, can it be muted? All right. So if you miss any digits, you can't actually get your money, even though it's your money. So we're actually digital human beings. So what is happening now is that jobs are being created for a new set of skills, and jobs are being taken away from certain sets of people as well. So just going into the presentation, we are going to highlight this. People of God, this is actually real, right? This is the problem. Bloomberg reports tallies exactly with National Bureau of Statistics. 33.3% of Nigerian workforce is not Nigerians. So Nigeria's workforce are unemployed. That's in Nigeria's workforce. So we're talking about 23 million people. International Labour Organization is saying that 56% of Nigerian workforce are unemployed, are underemployed. So we are now increasing that number. Then 41.8 million of Nigerian workforce that are, that are under the age of 34. So I don't know how many people that are above 34 on this call. Maybe these guys are talking to us actually. You can see on the employment, unemployment, and these things are real. So the question is, look at this map. According to reports from Conferry, this is from IMF. The demand of tech use is actually rising, right? Even though people are losing jobs, but what kind of jobs are they losing? It's the jobs that are being replaced by the tech jobs. For instance, I lost my my GT card. I went to GT Bank last 2 weeks in Port Harcourt. I was going to customer care to tell them I want to collect the form. As usual, I want to, sign in and everything. They said, no, I should go outside. That there's a white machine there. I should print my card. It sounded like a movie. This guy, I said, I mean ATM card. They say yes. I went outside. I saw a white machine, like they said. It asked me to put my account number, added my, just like an ATM machine. I place your finger, was thumbnail. I put my phone. After some time, it asked me to put the pin I want to use on the card. I put the first pin, say confirm my pin. Say okay, I press okay. What I saw on the screen, card printing. Like magical, in like 10 minutes, the card dropped. I collected my card and left. Okay, somebody has lost a job with that machine. That machine will not go for any maternity leave or annual leave or whatever. We're even complaining about ATM. Now we're having POS in every corner of the street. More people are losing jobs, right? But more jobs are being created. If you look at those POSs now, they've changed from the normal, POS to the one that have touch screens, the one that you can receive text messages. So people are building. It's no longer is any bank union, but you're seeing something like Money Points, OPay, and people are coming into the space. Who are writing all this? Which people are trying? So if you know what is happening, man, a lot of people are going to lose more jobs. The smart guys are actually going to grab this opportunity to train themselves and get ready for the next 4 years or 5 years. That is going to be very, very interesting. So we are not, this is real, you understand? And the good thing about this is that if you look at the population, the dotted line that you see that is growing is the African youth population. It's actually growing, while that of the rest of the world is flattening out. This projection was made. You can see it goes back to 2100. So the next destination is Africa. That's the truth. We have explored India, we have explored Ukraine, China, and everything. And, the greatest to begin to bring up our young people. And that is why we have chosen to do this. We are not the only ones that are doing this. You have all school and all that. So why are we choosing Kodecamp? First of all, Kodecamp is free. So a lot of online courses. I cannot say we are going to compete with Udemy, Audacity, Coursera, and EDX and all those. Those guys are good. Okay, they are pros, it's scalable, less cost, time saves time. If you're a tech savvy, you'll be able to do that. It's flexible, less competitive, less intensive, improve time management and more access. But there are cons also. Self-discipline, my dear. I for one, I know I've registered for a lot of courses on Coursera. I've not finished like 90% of courses. I just like clicking because there are a lot of courses. It just keeps up coming. Blah, blah, blah. I'll click and they will enroll me. I just enjoy the thing. If you go to Udemy, there's that data camp. How many of those courses have there been to? Okay, that's it. I'm not going to go into that now. Concentrate. Can you actually have the concentration that you need? Feeling of isolation, man. Sometimes the person that is teaching is using Mac, and then you are using Windows. The guy does one magic like that, but you don't hang. You are not. You look around. You are the only one in the room. Who can you talk to? Health issues, technical issues. You can have like probably the versioning of the software is not matching. Like, it might even be the port. It might even be it might be the driver that you've not even installed in your system. Nobody to ask. You are writing the code correctly and everything. It's not just working. Lack of social skills, is part of it. It is limiting also. prevention of cheating is difficult as well. So yeah, just literally being on money. So, but what we have done is we need to, because we want it to be so since we are going to be doing it at scale, right? What we want to do is to combine like a hybrid kind of model. It's going to be an online course. Hello? Can I be heard?
Yes, I can hear you, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, so a lot of you will be asking, so we are now combining the model. We can't do it at scale physically. You can't invite all of you to a center, but also we need to actually make it like a live thing. If you go to YouTube now, we have 400 videos. We are not going to repeat. We are not going to send you to, go and watch this video. No, we are going to teach those classes again. We want you to ask questions. You understand? Even though you are not here physically, we want to combine. It's going to be a hybrid. It's an online, but it's going to be like, you can see what's happening already on the Discord. Get into the flow, join. Have the discussion, meet friends and everything. It's not going to be physical, but you have that feeling. It's live. If you miss the class, even though it will be recorded on YouTube. So what we want to do is to, we'll have peer reviews and everything. So that's the model that we have actually adopted. The vision is to be a one-stop shop for talents in Africa. I'm going to talk about this when I show you the big picture. The mission is admit. We have admitted you guys. The next thing is to nurture. And after we have nurtured you, to deploy the next generation of tech workforce in Africa. Learn and earn, is the motto. So learn is leadership, empathy, ambition, respect, and novelty. So there you are. We have, level 1, level 2. You have the beginner, intermediate, and that. So I'm not going to bore you with all these figures and numbers. So a little about what we have done in the first cohort, which we ran August, December 2021. Only 3 tracks we used. We just tested, our abilities. We had like 3 tracks: UI, UX, mobile app, and dev, web dev. So it was only beginner. Second cohort 2.0, we had 11 learning tracks. We tried to, at that point, we introduced the beginner and intermediate to join the beginner for those that finished from the first time. So we had more tracks. I'm not going to go through all of them. So we had of 3,000 something that's applied in the first one. We had only 179 finalists. So what is it telling those that are on this call? Man, you need to, even though it seems simple, but if you're pretty unserious, you are going to somehow unseriously drop out as well. Just simple. There's nobody's going to come and arrest you, put handcuff on you, you understand, but somehow you're going to drop out. We had 16 mentors, 5 projects listed there as well. We tried, I think we improved the second cohort. We had like 252 people that finished 28 mentors and 15 projects as listed there. So what is it that you are going to be having projects? So this is like a pictorial of what I just showed. So what are the values? First of all, you're going to be having 4 hours of lectures every day. That's number 1 that you see there. Learning materials, of course. We are there to guide you. Your mentors has already been introduced. They are going to be sharing materials with you. Technical assistance in review sessions. In addition to the classes, there is going to be review sessions. In case there's something specific that is worrying people, we can always schedule the review session. Those that are having that particular problem can join. See, if you don't survive Kodecamp, it is your fault. You understand? These are done so that to fulfill our righteousness, to make sure that we have done all due diligence. So, of course, we are going to be grading, of the task that we'll give you and giving you feedback as well. So, this is the value. If you are doing a task and nobody is actually mentoring or grading you, you might just be isolated that as we showcase. We have teamwork experience. We are going to bring in this time employability and personal development packages, because we are going to build a community, which I'm going to mention in a moment. Access to experienced mentors, networking opportunities to potential colleagues in the industry. That's already happening. You don't know who you have talked to. You don't know who you have met at that Discord. You don't know where you guys are going to end up in this. So instead of staying in your room, it's actually good. Just joining the Discord alone has, just this week, that action has changed your life forever if you actually believe it. The tech community experience, I'm going to talk about it. Then building portfolios. You cannot finish this thing without doing projects now. I have to add those projects in a standard portfolio format. For instance, GitHub, Git repos, and all those kind of things. And of course, certification at the end of the day will be given to the finalists. And ultimately, we are going to link to jobs. Our operations, we have changed Slack. We are using Discord now. I should have updated this slide, sorry. So of course, we are currently on Zoom, but when you miss classes, you can go and catch up on YouTube. Please, but it's always advisable to join the live classes. Oh boy, to join YouTube channel to go and watch like 2 hours. Most of our videos are 2 hours or 1 hour 50 something minutes. It's tiring. You must be a magic guy to maybe a hawk to be able to concentrate to watch those videos, especially when psychologically you know you're watching a recorded video. But I know that people are working, they can actually come back in the evening and, look at those videos. We are using Airtable for tracking all our progress and everything. So this will be, I'm not going to go through all this. I think this is appropriate for the closing ceremony. So I'm going to just jump this, So proposed future consideration. This is where you are. You are at number 3 in our pyramid. So get into the community. You have already done that. KodeCamp self-paced, this is something that we're going to consider. We have not started doing it yet, but KodeCamp bootcamp is where you are in right now, and after the bootcamp, those of you that are successful will be moving to the internship, phase. And of course, ultimately, the idea is to get a job. That's the truth. We are not here to play. Nigeria is not funny and all that. So, well, this is the big picture. We want to grow the tech community around the world. And I can tell you just today, from the social media posting we have been doing, a company in Canada reached out to me in particular. I don't know what is about today. Another group in the UK reached out to me, So, well, I'm not promising anything to them yet. I actually count on the success of this program. I'm sure that more will reach out because I think we have been posting a lot recently because of this 3rd edition. So guess what is going to happen? More people are going to reach out to us and all that. So I think generally the success of KodeCamp is going to depend on how serious the people on this channel is going to be. Aside the 2 companies that reached out to me before now, in the last cohort, I know a company like AWB that's in Port Harcourt, Lagos, and Abuja wanted us to supply them 50 people for a program they wanted to do. We are going to be talking to Rapid River, for instance, that she is going to visit Nigeria in October. So a lot of conversations are going on. So we can actually become that channel, right? We are providing something different from Upwork or Fiverr or something, so there are lots of going to happen. So at this point, this is all about KodeCamp. I'm not expecting that, I think I expect that people will understand, where we are going, in a nutshell. So the other things that we can consider, like machine learning, cloud computing, entrepreneurship, IoT, cards, a lot of, but this thing depends mainly on availability of resources. So eventually this can turn into, so congratulations to all of you. Thank you for joining, and please, our success depends on your success. Your seriousness, we are counting on it. The opportunities are actually there. It's not going to be given to you on a platter of gold. The people that have reached out to us, we have to prove to them that we can build a skill economy. And I'm very glad that people are actually reaching out to us. I'm really, really very glad. But I'm scared that the demand might be more than what we can, supply. I'm really, really scared. How I wish, honestly, let me tell you guys how I feel. If I can stretch my hand on my system and probably use one kind of magic through Wi-Fi and just install all this program on your head now, I'll call that guy that called me today from Canada and say, you know what? How many people on this call? 92. I said, I have 92 people. where are we going to start? Because he wants to sell the idea to. Let me tell you the trick. The trick is that here, a job that's supposed to be like 50K per annum, let's do the calculation. Someone in Nigeria can take that job for let me put a calculator here. You can take her for it, $25,000, right? Times what's the exchange rate? Can someone tell me the exchange rate? I need the help. What's the exchange rate?
It's around 800 or so, 800.
Okay, let me say 750.
815.
Oh, 815. Oh boy,
Yes.
815. Jesus Christ. 815. Okay. So you're going to be earning over 20 million naira in a year. Let me divide it by 12. This is your monthly salary, 1.6 million. This is a job, I'm saying that this job is supposed to be $50,000. Imagine getting someone in Africa that can do it for 25K. That's half of that. And probably the person can deliver. This is the trick that we want to explore now. I would definitely choose someone that will give me this job for $25,000 per annum. For my mind now, maybe as a Canadian company, I am cheating this guy. But as a Nigerian, this guy is earning 1.6 million naira. See, it is so. In fact, I feel like for now, from this 1.something million naira, I should say me I dey collect because me will find the job give you. I go like collect. If I dey collect like maybe $150 from maybe 50 people, I'm a rich man. So man, everybody has something to gain. So, free CodeCamp and everything. See, I know what I'm doing. No, we know what we are doing. The sponsor of this project know what we are doing. So we can see that at the end of the day, the bottom line is, can we count on your seriousness? Can you guys make us proud? Can we have people finish this thing so that we can actually beat our chest? Like if I can do anything this, I can do any magic this, and I can just reach out and say, please, I have 92 people now. I can deploy tomorrow. What area? So this is the end of the presentation. That's what KodeCamp is all about. So this is the third cohort. I wish everybody, good luck. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Lawrence, for that insightful session. Oh, Mohammed said would definitely make you proud. How to see it. Okay, so moving on, we're going to be calling on the program manager to tell us all we need to know about Kodecamp 3.0. Ikechukwu at home.
Okay, thank you very much, Favor. And thank you very much also, Engineer Lawrence Akube, for for that presentation. It never gets old, actually, right? It never gets old. Every time you actually present it, it just feels new, right? So thank you so much. Okay, so let's move on, right? Basically going to be running you guys through what you should know about CodeCamp 3.0. I'm going to be sharing my screen quickly, so please let me know if you can see my screen. Yeah, so first of all, my name is Gage Kachom, and yes, I am the program manager for CodeCamp. Yeah, CodeCamp has been running since 2021. I was a program manager in 1.0, 2.0, and now in 3.0. I think I want to use this medium to appreciate Engineer Lawrence Akube and Engineer Betudo, who you will hear from soon enough, the powerhouse behind CodeCamp, right? For still trusting me to, to lead this on. So in getting to know what CodeCamp 3.0 is about, let me move. I have this stuff I just coined called GAGO, GAGO, right? So in CodeCamp 3.0, you need to know these things: goal, attitude, grit, and opportunity, right? Just like I said, in short, just call it GAGO, right? It's just, so don't worry, it's not anything that you can use anywhere or something. No, it just came up. So don't try to make a thing about it, right? Okay, so someone said the man of steel. Okay, so first of all, let's start with goal, right? I'm going to focus more on CodeCamp 3.0 and why these four things rather, are very key right? From the presentation were part of, one of the things he actually said is, can we trust you? Right? Can we actually trust you guys to be, to actually make us proud? And in making us proud, you need these four things. And I'm going to really explain why that's actually important. So we'll start with the first one. A lot of these things, of course, you already know what a goal is, right? But I'm just going to go down into why and how you can actually set up goals, because when there's this popular statement: when you fail to plan, you have actually planned to what? Fail, right? No team with a winning mentality goes into a football match without expecting to score a goal, right? No team. They are either expecting to score or expecting to defend. It's either to, probably, it was a home and away match kind of thing. And then, okay, they have won the first leg. So, this one, let's just go for a draw. That's a goal. Is an intention, right? It's something they want to achieve, right? So these things are stated here, right? These are things that will actually help you in Codecamp 3.0. Look, I just want to hope that you did not come in by mistake. But of course, if you did, you can actually turn that around. Okay. So first things first, you need to decide exactly what you want in Codecamp, right? What do you actually want? Did you just jump in here by mistake? Did you just see the link and you're like, okay, let me check this out? I said, okay, let me just try. What exactly do you want to achieve at the end of Codecamp? It is very important that you write these things down. Now, I'll talk about the task that was given, right, which is the grit task, and that was essential because you now have a peer, right, who can actually be accountable. You can be accountable to, right? So one of the things I encourage some code campers is use your peer very well, right? There's no harm in, okay, hey, this is what I want to achieve, this is what I want to achieve. Can we be accountable to each other? That's why you should have a pair. It's not just to do the task and then you guys just move away from each other, right? So when you decide what you want to do, the next thing you do is to write it down, right? Write down that's what's important. Very, very important. What you don't write down, you almost never see. Okay. And then set a deadline. Deadlines actually makes you more responsible, right? Don't procrastinate. Set deadlines to your goals. Then make a list. Of course, every goal require there are steps what's required to actually achieve that goal. So make a list of those goals and turn that list into a plan. So what turns your list into a plan is basically when time factor is added into it, right? So I have a list of things. I'm going to do this in order to achieve this goal. But a plan, once time comes in, okay, I'll do this by so time. After this, I go more like, so you have a time, you have a sequence, right? And then take action on your plan. Okay, so if you have decided that, okay, after my classes, by 2 hours a day, I'm going to give it to whatever I'm being taught in Codecamp, 2 hours a day, 1 hour a day, three hours a day, whatsoever, stick to it. And then the last one is something I learned from Engineer Lawrence, right? Do something every day that moves you towards your major goal, right? He usually used to give this example, right? Let's say you want to learn JavaScript, right? So if you learn one thing in one day, it means you have learned 30 things in 30 days, right? Because a lot of times we are overwhelmed with how huge or how humongous a course is, or like he said, right? So you have 2 hours videos. Videos are usually 1 hour 50 minutes, 2 hours, right? If you cannot run through that, why not say, okay, fine, for today, okay, I'm just going to do 30 minutes, or I'm going to do 40 minutes, I'm going to do 20, in fact, I'm going to do 10 minutes. But at all costs, do something. Don't allow any day go by without you chasing after that goal. Don't allow any day go by. This is something you need to learn in Codecamp 3.0. And you will know why I'm telling you these things when we get into the training proper, right? For some of you who know me for 1.0 and 2.0, you will know why. Because when I don't see these things, if I don't see a few of these things in you, I actually kick you out of the platform. That's how I am. Because if what Engineer Lawrence wants to do, right, if we want to do that, we cannot just put you out there for this skill only. No, we can't do that. we also need to look at the character. It's very important. We also need to look at your personality, your person, right? Are you someone who is responsible, accountable, right? The skill is important also, but in CodeCamp, we will not just grill you with skill. I will also grill you with every other aspect. So please take note of that, right? Now, for the, let me just make this very quick. The A is the attitude, right? Attitude is basically a feeling or opinion about something, especially that shows in your behavior. So not just how you feel about something, but when it affects your behavior, that's basically what attitude. So you need the right attitude in 3.0. You really need the right attitude. Attitude to learning, attitude to class, attitude to tasks. How do you actually see? What's your opinion about this thing? When it affects you and affects your behavior, it becomes your attitude. So a lot of persons, they have a very, very interesting, let me not say bad, interesting attitudes to, online classes, right? A very typical, maybe to them is not, it's a time for them. Okay, it's freestyle, right? So probably just join a live class, right? And they just unmute their mic. They are just they are not conscious. They just unmute their mic, or they just join it and what they are doing something else. Why join it? See, we are not looking for attendance. No, right? We're not looking for attendance. So why join a class? You join and then you step out to go and do something and whatever. You come back and then you want to now ask questions and go back again. That's a very, very wrong attitude. It's because your opinion, your feeling, your thoughts towards online classes or whatever is not as it should be. So your behavior is affected. It shows, right? That's why they say action speaks louder, right? So have a very good attitude. Have a very good attitude. Take charge of your learning. And one of the ways you can do that is by talking to yourself, right? So I take this just an example. I take charge of my learning. I use every opportunity I have to learn something new. Look, we will teach you. That's the truth, right? But if you are someone whose opinion and belief is that it is the duty, the sole, let me use the word sole duty of the trainer to give you the knowledge or everything, right? Put everything inside of you. Trust me, you're wrong, because I have this principle, right? Training, as far as I'm concerned, is 10% of the trainer, 90% of what you. So if you're the type who it's just class after the class, that's all, right? That is all. You come to the next one and that. Well, you expect the trainer to always tell you, look, when you get this job that we are looking for, that we want to get for you, or you probably get one, do you think your trainer will be there to do the job for you? No. So you need to get this attitude now. The earlier, the what better. And we will do our best to instill it in you, whether you like it or not. You don't actually have it. There's no choice. There's no in between. Of course, if you don't like it, it means you phase out, right? But if you like it, see, you cannot like it and then just like it. You understand? So it's for your own good, right? You need to also have the attitude that says you're willing to make mistakes and learn from them. I usually tell people these things. Don't worry, make the mistake, but learn from it. So it's not the mistake most times that's the problem. It's the fact that we do not learn from them. And when you don't learn from them, you repeat them. Okay, so have this at the back of your mind also. And then I'm going to quickly go to the next one, which is grit. Okay, so of course, a lot of you who have actually done the grit task, which I'll talk about, by the way, you know about grit already, so I don't think I need to dwell much on it, right? It's basically associated with individuals who can endure things. They can endure, they have a thick skin. They can endure because they believe they can eventually persevere. Look, perseverance is just to continue in a course of action, right? Even in the face of difficulty, or with little or no indication at all of success. So you're starting out as a newbie with to learn front end, and then you're seeing HTML and you're seeing Angular brackets everywhere. Like you're seeing dash, you're seeing comma. Like, what is going on here? Like, it doesn't look like it's getting probably. Oh, okay. Let me even use design, right? Let me use UI UX. For some of you who probably have heard about UI UX and you've seen stuff, and then you came to Kodecamp 3.0, and then in the very first lecture, right, you're expecting to just go to Figma and start drawing stuff. You will not do it. I promise you, you will not do it. And the trainer knows that you'll still not do it, right? Because there is a process. And sometimes, or many times, the process does not actually show you the end result a lot of times, right? So you need to have that perseverance. It is very, very important. These are the things you need. You need to know this about CodeCamp 3.0. If you do not have this grit, you cannot go far. That's the truth. You cannot actually go far. Okay. And then, of course, the last one is opportunity. The last one is opportunity. So opportunity, of course, is just a good chance for advancement or progress, right? That's just what opportunity is all about, right? A situation or a condition favorable for attainment of a goal. So you learning, everything you're doing, in fact, everything Engineer Lawrence talked about towards the end, right, is an opportunity. It's a good chance. Look at the 1.6 million a month. Some more. And all this is what they're talking about fuel. What concern you and fuel being 650? Like if you earn your 1.6 million a month now, you just go and get one inverter first and just keep, right? Just get inverter, keep, and just, like there are a lot of things. This is where we actually just say that money answers all things, right? Okay, there is a good chance for what progress financially. That's a financial word, progress, because once you get that job, of course, things are going to change. But of course, not every opportunity is what a financial one. Some has to just do with your own career advancement, your personal, emotional, spiritual, whatever, right? And I want you, please, this is just a plea, right? Of course, I beg to, of course, someone can say otherwise, but one of the things I usually beg people for is don't be driven by the financial opportunities. Don't always be driven by that, especially starting out in tech. I understand the struggle. I understand we are all looking for money and we want a job that pays us the whole of this, that. But the question is this: how grounded are you? Right? How grounded are you for that? So the only way you can be grounded is for you to get experience. And not all experiences are paid experiences. I tell people, look, go for internships. They must not pay you. Yeah, some people say, companies are using them and stuff like that. Well, it may be true, but trust me, you are growing you're honing your skills. That's the truth. You're honing your skills. So I always remember, there's someone from 1.0 I still remember vividly, who turned down a job of about, I think, if I remember vividly, I think 50,000 naira, right? Because he said it's too small, right? This is somebody that had just learned, I don't want to say what he learned, so some people not start figuring out and start trying to remember in 1.0, right? So just 3 or 4 months of learning, there was just this breakthrough, this opportunity. He just saw an internship, and was okay, fine, 50K a month. And he was like, no, that's developers. He checked developers and 100 and something, 200 and something, that no, they want to use him and blah, 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 blah. Until now, as I'm speaking to you, he's still struggling. Right? So please, opportunities will come. But the question is this: will they meet you ready? And this is something you need to know in CodeCamp 3.0. Trust me, there are hawks. Do you know what? When you know hawk now, hey, hawk has these gaze, right? People are actually watching you in CodeCamp 3.0. A lot of eyes are on you, not just us. It's not everybody you see on Discord that came to learn, right? It's not everybody you see that joined this orientation or will join a particular tech seminar or tech talk that we may have, that comes to, probably some of them are coming to observe. Some of them are coming to scout. You do not know who is watching. So you have to always be prepared. Okay. So that being said, right, just a quick one about the program of events, basically just the roadmap. I think a lot of us must have seen this, but just to reiterate, okay. So of course, July, we had the registration, that's and the onboarding and the orientation, which is we are currently doing now. That's going to actually end this month. So everything about registration, onboarding you, getting you used to the platform and every other thing, right? In August 7th, to be precise, classes begins. We're also going to be having some tech seminars and the like, so you need to be ready for that. September also, same thing. And then in October, we're going to start preparing for the project phase. Okay, a lot of these things we'll still talk about it as time goes on. And then we'll have what we call a live code, right? So live code is this. This is something we're going to be introducing in 3.0, right? So it's going to be a competition, right? So it's something to prep for. Now, not everybody will be a part of it. We'll random choose 4 persons per track, right? Let me just give you a hint. But of course, I'm still going to give you more information about this in the coming weeks. We still have a bit of time, right? But the thing is this: you're going to be given a task to do like live. Not so it's not like we'll not give you to go and you'll do it live. So just imagine as we are on this call right now, okay, you're sharing your screen, and they will tell you, okay, fine, let's say you're a designer, okay, we want you to design a landing page for a bookshop. You do it live. We are watching you with a particular time. There's a time for it. Maybe you're a front-end person. Okay, hey, this is this design. Do the landing page. We need the code, blah, blah, and but it's going to be live. And of course, there's going to be gifts and stuff like that, which I'll talk much more when we get into that. So if you're going to be a part of that, of course, you actually indicate when. Look out for the announcement channel when it is being announced. And of course, in November, that's where we'll be rounding things up, right, with rounding up the project phase, of course, our closing ceremony as we usually do, and then of course the hangouts. So we'll talk more about the hangouts, but just like we did last year, we come together in several places where people are populated. I think the last hangouts we had in Abuja, Port Harcourt, Lagos. So let's see if we can have more places, but it's dependent on how much persons are in a particular location. So we can just meet and then hang out and get to see one another. So next steps, I'm going to round up with this. Next steps, grid tasks. Let me talk about this, right? For some of you who have not done your grid tasks, just know, right? Just have it at the back of your head that you are not for this training. Okay, just know. If you have not done it, everybody who has done it, now get my statement. And that's one thing all of you need to learn is understanding instructions. Is very, very important, right? Understand the words when an instruction is given. Make sure you understand it first. So I did not say that everybody who submitted. I said everyone who did the task, not submitted, because a lot of persons were trying to play smart. And I'm the wrong person to play smart with in Kodecamp, because I will check. So somebody went to submit, the person just submitted. Let me put it that way, right? Okay. I've marked you, Sha. Just know that, okay? And I'm giving you another chance. So everyone who have done the task, you are actually a part of Kodecamp 3.0. If you haven't done it, okay, so in the spirit of onboarding and the spirit of orientation and the spirit of me being nice, which will soon end, okay, I'm going to extend the grid task to let's see, let me extend it to Sunday. I think Sunday is fine. Sunday nights, 11 p.m. like as I always do. I like 11 p.m. So Sunday nights by 11 p.m. that's the extra time you have to actually go. So please make sure you do that task. It's very simple. Find a pair. So it's not, some of you are saying PAIR. Actually, it's PEER, right? So I say I need a pair of what? A pair of shoes. So it's PEER, right? Except I say pair with someone ahead. That's, you can now say PAIR. Okay, but that's by the way. So find a pair. When you go online, you don't just say, I see some of you just say, I'm in need of a pair, and you expect magically, in your royalty, right? In your royalty, in your kingdom, right? Someone will just approach you, and then, and tell you, my Lord and personal Savior, I have come to be your pair. See, that's not how life is, right? If you want something, go after that thing. When you see someone has actually said that he needs it, why not go straight to the person's DM, right? Or just mention the person, okay, hey, I'm available. You see, I saw like 10 messages just in a row, all of them saying, I need a pair, I need a pair. Like 10, I need a pair, I need a pair, I need a pair. Now, when you came, you saw this person said that he needs a pair. Why not just chat up the person or tell the person, okay, I'm available, let's meet? That's how it's done. We are in, look, we are in, and we're in the age where you have to be smart about how you do things, right? Technology should make you, should ginger you up, right? So please make sure you actually do that task. Else, I don't know where to place you. Discord is a very, very, very interesting platform. You can actually be there and you're not there. Like, you're on the platform, but you're not on the platform. That's one of the things I love about Discord, right? It can create a Discord. That's, by the way. So that's how important the grid task is. Now, the next is the intermediate test. So, of course, and this is going to be dropping. Okay, I'm going to drop this tomorrow, right? Because I'm going to give you guys 5 days to do this. Now, this test is for everyone who said, claimed, what other word will I use? Okay, let's just stay with those two. For everyone who registered as an intermediate. So you said that you want to, you registered for intermediate Node.js, intermediate mobile app, intermediate. So you're saying that you are not a beginner. Well, I will not take your word for it. Okay, apologies. I won't take your word for it. We're trying to build the skill economy, so we have to try also to, kind of streamline a few things, right? So that means that every one of you who registered for the intermediate tracks, you will take a test. That test is going to be sent to your email with instructions about the time and, time of submission and everything. Every information, you get that straight to your inbox. When I say straight to your inbox, I mean straight to your inbox. Don't worry, right? So for UI UX, Android, Node.js, and I think that's that though. React, yes, React also. The persons who say they want to do React, let's see if you actually really even know JavaScript, right? How well do you know JavaScript, right? Okay, so that's basically what we're going to. So please note this. It is very, very important. I need to be sure that you know what you have the the prerequisite knowledge, right, before you get into the next stage. So please, it's not something to run away from, right? Don't run away from it. I think we did it the last time. A lot of persons, immediately they just saw the test, they switched to becoming beginners almost immediately. Don't run away. Be confident, right? Be confident. Take it. What's the worst that can happen, right? The worst that can happen is you don't pass it, and we'll not chase you out. We'll just send you back to the beginner. That's all, right? It's not a bad thing, right? It's not a bad thing. So it's just for you to learn that thing you don't know, right? So failure is not really bad. It's just failure is just, you've just seen that you don't actually know this. So you go back and learn it. So if you do not meet the criteria, which will also be communicated to you via mail, if you do not meet the criteria for being in the intermediate level, you will be moved to the beginner, which of course it is entirely your choice to decide if you want to continue or you want to take a step back, right? One of the things I'll do is to, let you know, okay, that you made it, you did not make it, right? In the most polite way possible, right? Well, of course, being polite does not really change anything, but I'll just try, right? Okay. So please let's take note of that. Okay, so let me just iterate this. So first thing, in talking about tasks, right? Of course, CodeCamp 3.0 is about stages. Of course, we're still going to maintain that. So basically, you're going to move from one stage to another. So tasks will be given to you, which on completing the task successfully, right, you will then be moved to the next stage. But listen carefully, everyone. Task has deadlines. I am very big on deadlines, right? As far as CodeCamp is concerned, right? I'm very big on deadlines. I think okay, it wasn't on this call, but I think it's still in this debate. Someone actually who was part of the previous cohort talked about being graded late and stuff. I'm like, when did you submit? Right? So when a deadline is given, it is error for you to submit late. It's error for you to even skip the deadline, right? Just because the form might be open just doesn't mean you submit. Some of you think it's let my people go. It's not let my people go. I intentionally leave it open to even after the deadline. And when you submit, I'll leave you there. I'll just leave you there. Just stay first, stay small. I'll delay you too. a lot of these things I learned from my boss, right? So if we want to succeed, we'll help you. If you want to fail, we'll still help you. But I prefer to help you succeed. And these things are things you need to learn, because trust me, where you are going to, what you want to achieve, that job you're looking for, which tech person, where will you not meet deadline? Which job will you not meet deadline, right? So we need to put it inside of you now, so that when you go, when we send you out somewhere, you can better represent us, right? So please take note of task deadlines. When a deadline is given, when I say 11 p.m. so day, you waiting for 10. See, if you wait for 10:59, you don't know, maybe your network will decide to do you Ojoro, and then I will receive it by what, 11:01. It's late. I'll just keep it one side. I'll just concentrate on persons who are serious, right? So please take note of that, right? And then, of course, classes, like Engineer Lauren said, try to attend live classes. In as much as it's going to be streamed on YouTube and available, right? Live classes also helps you to, ask questions. In our classes, you ask questions. We don't just give you a marathon. No, we stop, we take questions, we explain, we try our best to make sure it actually gets into your head, right? And then, okay, I'll leave the whole channel stuff to the next person to round up the last session, and then we'll get into questions and answers, and then we call it timeouts, right? But this is the last thing I want to give to you guys. Please, please, please be tech savvy. This grid task showed me a lot of things, right? Which I don't want to talk about now, but in fact, it gave me a lot of tech talk ideas, because I saw a lot of lapses, right, in certain persons, certain persons, right? Okay, I noticed that people who don't know how to create a Google document, right? No, I'm not trying to diss you, right? I'm not trying to hit at you, or no. It's something you should not be happy about it, actually. Like in this tech space, you should not be happy, right? And you should do something about it. You need to be tech savvy. You need to be able to find solutions to problems. It's a skill. It's a skill you need to learn. Don't always wait to be spoon-fed, right? Don't always wait to be spoon-fed. Google is your friend. And a lot of you seniors Google. Like, a lot of you are older than Google, right? But Google knows more than you. So at least leverage on that. And so ask Google, go to Google online, ask questions. So when they say create a Google document, and you don't know how to create a Google document, why not go online and type how to create Google document? That's all you need to do. You follow the instructions. You don't come to my DM and ask me such questions. I am one person that I don't even, in fact, immediately after the onboarding session, none of you should hit my DM to ask me questions that you have not tried. In fact, you need to even pass through someone, because I won't even answer you. I won't, especially questions I don't expect you to ask. Now, you may say it's me being harsh, right? But trust me, I am doing you a favor. If you can, in the process of avoiding me, push yourself to get that answer, trust me, you've learned a skill. And that means you will never need me again. And that's the goal. I don't need you to need me, because when you get that job that we're hoping you get, I won't be the one to write the code for you. I won't be the one to design for you and all those stuff. So you have to learn these things. So thank you guys very much. I think I'm going to hand over to Favor to continue. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful time.
Thank you very much, Mr. Akins. So just like Ogochuk said, he's actually a very nice person. Because I get that a lot of people here are very scared of him. I mean, the IKs of Kodecamp. But I think you guys will be best friends if you actually, bring in your A game and do what you have to do. Thank you very much for that session. Okay, so up next we have the Discord way, which is going to be handled by Mr. Sheriff, also known as Simple Soul. Please unmute your mic and go ahead, sir.
Okay, good evening, everyone, once again. My name is Simple Soul. I don't know, can you guys hear me? Let me confirm if someone
Yes,
can hear
we
me.
can hear you. Go ahead.
All right, thank you, Favor. Right. Well, I'll be taking the Discord way. So, basically, I'm supposed to just say stuff about Discord, how to use Discord, how to go about it, the navigations, the roles and the channels. Well, firstly, I would like to say that being a developer is actually a challenge, and I will actually want every one of us to know that, okay, as a developer, I have to have the ability to think, to research, to solve problems, and to brainstorm some stuff yourself. Like myself, I should be able to do stuff myself without even waiting for instructions, or maybe waiting, asking persons, or waiting for someone to help you out or something like that. So, and I believe I can say it, like most of us, we don't really have issues navigating around TikTok or Facebook, some other social media app, because those ones fine. TikTok is really friendly, but then because it's fun, and on TikTok you can just go there and see videos, so you find it interesting, and you can easily just go there and do stuff, right? But considering Discord is a little bit complicated. And why is it complicated is because what do we do in Discord? Mostly we learn stuff, you go for education and stuff like that. So, and in Nigeria, I've come to realize that anything that has to do with learning, you trying to gain something that will actually help you is kind of like difficult. It's really, really difficult for most of us. So that's why Google Docs, like Ike said, people find it difficult to even choose Google Docs because it's something that will help you, right? But then give them Facebook, or just start a new social media and app right now, and people will just go there and they'll navigate easily without even asking questions. So, well, that's just the introduction I would like to say. As a developer, whichever track you are, UI, UX, sorry, I said developer, as a techie, let me just put it in general. As a techie, UI, UX, front end, React, Android, whatever it is, a techie, you have to understand that being a techie is a challenge, and you should be able to think, research stuff on your own, like brainstorm and solve problem on your own without even asking me. At some point, as a UI UX designer or a web developer, you'll be left alone. No one is going to take you forever, right? So you have to if you have the skill, you have to develop the skill that to make researches on your own, right? So that's just it. And I will need to share my screen, since most of us will be using phone to connect to Discord. I don't know if that will be possible for me to just share my screen so I can show us some things on Discord.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Just a minute. My screen. Okay. Okay, while I'm on that, I would say that on Discord, we have two basic things on Discord. We have the channel, and then we have the roles. So we have different roles on Discord. We have different roles. We have the trainee roles. We have the mentor role. We have trainer. We have member, and then we have passerby. So, and okay, some of us must have noticed that maybe when we got invited, as in initially, from the first time you got invited, you clicked on the link that Kodecamp sent to you, and then you open Discord. If you check your role at that point, it's likely that you see passerby if you didn't follow the right process. So those are the roles that Discord will give you automatically, a passerby. And then if you have been using Discord for a while, you're going to have a member role. So, but according to for Kodecamp, we are going to be using a trainee role. We're going to be using a mentor role. We're going to be using we're going to have different roles concerning our tracks, relating to our tracks. That will come on later. We're going to have a UI UX role. Then each person will know, okay, I'm a UI UX person, I'm a front end person, I'm a React person. And then also we are going to have a level-based role also. So those are the roles that we are going to be having on. And I don't know if there's going to be a role in promotion though, but basically we are going to be having that level-based role and track-based role. And then you are going to know that, okay, I'm a trainee. In case you don't have access to some of the channel, or maybe you're not seeing the Kodecamp for now, it's likely that you're not a trainee, like your role has not been updated to a trainee. So there are a few things you can do to do that. Let me start from the beginning. As soon as you open your Discord and then you say, okay, you registered for Kodecamp 3.0, and then you click on the link and then the Discord opens, you are expected to follow a process. If you follow the process accordingly as instructed by the person that sent the link, you're going to get the training role automatically. But then some persons, maybe they forgot or skipped some steps at all. So they get only a passerby role. Well, by now I expect all of us to have a training role, but then in case someone else is trying to join and we notice the person is having this problem, if during the registration process, during the registration for Discord, because when you click on the link and it opens Discord, you get to do some things like some steps before you can have a training role. So in case you mistakenly select join the community and not join Kodecamp 3.0, because you're going to be given an option, two options. So either click join Kodecamp 3.0 or join the community. Like you just want to join the community and maybe just have fun, just want to join the community. But to be able to have the training role, you have to join Kodecamp 3.0. But then in the case where maybe you skip that, perhaps maybe you didn't see it or something, and then you mistakenly click on join the community. So you can also, just when you get to the Discord, just open your menu, click on your menu bar. Menu bar is mostly located by the top right corner of your screen. This is it. So as you can see, I have 406, something like that on the menu. So that's the menu. Just click on the menu, and then you see from the list of the navigations we have here. So you see we have channels and row. We have from Discord. These are stuff that I have on my own Discord. But for you that you don't have all of this information, all of these channels, sorry, you can easily click on channels and rows. And then from here, you can see customize and all channels. So all channels will show you all the channels you have inside Kodecamp 3.0, inside Kodecamp. So I'll say yeah, inside Kodecamp, while customize will show you the choices you have. Do you want to join the Kodecamp Bootcamp 3.0 Bootcamp, or you want to be part of the community? So you have to select Kodecamp 3.0 Bootcamp. So then that's the first thing you need to do if you are having the issue of, okay, I don't have access to this, I don't have access to that. So then after that, you should be able to see all the channels. Currently, I believe everyone can see all of the channels. Like by all of the channels, I mean, you can see the front end, Android, back end, UI, UX, and all, which you're not supposed to see. So, and IK is working on that, and everyone is only going to be able to see the channels that you are supposed to see. For example, if you're a UX designer, you only be allowed, or you only see the track or the channel, sorry, for UI UX beginner. And also, if you are Android, or you only see the channel that is for your track. If you are beginner, you see for beginner. If you're intermediate, you see for intermediate. So in case at some point maybe all of this thing change, you don't have to start like calling people out that, okay, I have changes on my Discord or all of that. So you should just try and remember that, okay, this has been said before, that, okay, I'm supposed to see only for front end. And okay, you're going to see general also, which is a general channel. You're going to see announcement, you're going to see introduction, and you're going to see random. Yeah, you're going to see discussion also. So, but then after all of this general announcement, introduction, random, and then discussion, then you're going to see one other one which has to do with your track and your level. So that's just that about the channel. And okay, there are a few things I would like, or things we are supposed to do. Like, okay, if you're on the Discord channel for 3.0, you are supposed to change your profile picture to your picture. You're not supposed to use avatar. Like, no, it's not done. A training, yeah. Even I would say it's like generally, if you register for a training, even if you are not told to change your profile picture to your picture, it's expected of you that you should know, okay, I need to change my profile picture. This is a training. right? And then you don't know when opportunity will come across you. You don't know how, you don't know what will happen in this training. And you don't know who is even like tracking you, noticing your communication and your progress. So you need to change. Have a profile picture. Don't use avatar. It is not allowed. And you're not supposed to have an empty profile picture. Use something that shows your face, right? So that's that about profile picture. And then secondly, again, you are not allowed to use at everyone. As a trainee, you are not allowed to use at everyone. You don't do that. The only person allowed to use at everyone is and the trainer, they are allowed to use at everyone. The mentor are allowed to use at everyone. The admin, the moderator, and just the hierarchy upward like that. Those ones are allowed to. What the at everyone does is it calls everyone, like it actually calls everyone's attention to that particular message that you dropped, which is not a good thing. You know, for example, you're trying to like ask a question and you tagged at everyone. Everybody on that channel is going to like get the message, and it's very, very wrong. So that's that about at everyone. Also, let's learn to respect ourselves. Like it is very important to respect. Is like you don't just start because someone maybe you asked a question and then nobody responded. Definitely someone will respond, or maybe someone responded and you don't like the response, or it doesn't just go well with you. You're not like throwing shades at the person, or maybe throwing some insult or something like that. It's better you just okay. Generally, no insult. Let's respect ourselves on the channel. Respect yourself on the channel. It is very, very important. And I can remember last Kodecamp Cohort, when we were using Slack, we had detention. We had like detention. So detention is just basically if you fumbled, if you messed up, like maybe you do something you're not supposed to do, you say something you're not supposed to say. We have some words you are not supposed to use in a training ground, right? So you say some of those things and you are being warned. Normally, the Discord bot is going to warn you. And if you still did not listen, then you're going to be thrown to detention. So I don't know. Well, perhaps this should definitely have a detention also. If it doesn't, then there's a way ICAS is going to find a way to like discipline anybody that comes up with such act. So that's that about the respect. Also, let's learn to check announcements. Everything that happens on the Discord, yeah, you know, we have random, we have introduction, we have general and all, but the most important channel I would say to me, right, is the announcement, because that's where you get a bit of things that is going to happen, things that will happen, deadlines, which is very, very important. Yeah, deadlines, you get to get the update about deadlines on task, on submission stuff, on classrooms and all of those. So everything happens, like everything happens in the announcement. And please, well, I believe we don't even have access to drop a message inside the announcement. You should not, I know if we are developers, we are techies, we want to hack the channel or stuff like that. So don't even try it. Like, don't even try to want to drop a message inside the announcement. So, well, that is just basically it about Discord. And let's feel free, let's feel free to relate, feel free to like make friends. Man, okay, if I should tell you guys about myself from last cohort, I literally like I was everywhere. Like I disturb, I make noise, then I make friends. And it's not just for nothing. I know stuff, right? I'm really proud of myself. I can do things, so I'm not really scared. Anytime the challenge comes, I'll do it. That's because, I'm ready and I love what I want to do, right? So, and with that, I find it comfortable to relate, because you can't just come with me and ask me something and I won't be able to respond. So that's just basically it. Feel free to relate to people, like mingle, connect. That is one thing CodeCamp is also for, be able to connect. And again, let's learn to how will I put this? Let's learn to be able to talk, right? Don't it's not so good to be a ghost. I used to be a ghost in a couple of stuff like that during my university days, but trust me, it is not a good thing. I swear to God, because you will not be known, even if you know things. Yeah, you know things, then they are seeing the record from the back end. But then people that are not seeing the back end, they don't know you. They don't know what you can do. So it's very good to open up, talk, like relate, right? It's one of the things that actually gave me the opportunity to
to be who I am today, because I talked a lot on the group chat, on the chat then. So then I was identified, right? You know, when you talk every time, okay, you talk, people want to see what this guy that talks a lot, what do you even know? Do you even know these things you are doing? Then when I realize, oh, this guy is really good, well, then you're noticed. So if anything comes up, then they will just pick you. They will reach out to you. So that's just how it happens. Feel free to relate. Don't be shy. Talk. And if you have issues, if you have concern, well, I wouldn't say DM a mentor. I would prefer that, okay, just raise the concern on the group chat, like a general channel or maybe your front end or whatever track you have, so that the issue can be addressed. If it's something you don't want to like share with everybody, okay, you're free to DM a mentor or a trainer. So that's just that's basically it. And let's enjoy. The training is going to be really interesting. You're going to learn a lot. Trust me. After 4 months, you're going to be a very different person, And I hope to see we are about say 1,000 plus. Hopefully, I'm going to see like the last year we had just a poster of I think about 200 and something percent. I can't remember. So this year I want the poster to not be even. I don't want it to be enough for a screen. Let it be like too much. Let's have too much of person graduating. So that's how I want it to be. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much, everyone, and have a wonderful night. Good night. Faye, please.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Simple. So that was a good one. I never knew you could talk like this. Okay, so thank you very much for that session. I hope we learned a lot and we know how to navigate Discord now and even better. So the next session is the summary and question session, which is going to be handled by Miss Boma. Boma, are you on the call, please?
Yes, I'm on the call.
All right, over to you, Boma.
All right, good evening, everybody. We've heard a lot from the introduction to dates. There's nothing I'm going to say that's going to make a difference. So it's not going to be easy. KodeCamp is not easy. It's something that you just need to put your mind to be able to graduate, to be able to follow up the process and graduate to the end. And I know that most of you have questions, or if not everybody. So this is the time to take questions. So we are going to do it in an orderly manner. If you have any question to ask, you can just put up your hand and I'll call you accordingly. Ask all the questions that you want to ask from the first speaker till now. You can ask your questions. Is there no question from anybody? Let me just assume that we are all okay with what we've heard so far. I don't want to see on the on Discord that you're asking questions that you're supposed to ask here on this call. So feel free, ask your questions. If you can't raise your hand, you can drop a chat and with the response. Okay, Emmanuel Balogun.
Not a question. I just wanted to ask if we could get the if we could get docs or presentation of those if we could get the docs or the presentation slides of the things that were shared, just to check back.
Oh, okay. So IK, is that possible?
Yeah, mine is possible, but that obviously Lawrence's, I doubt that. Okay, I doubt that. But I'm gonna check back with him. But for mine, I'll share that on the general channel.
Oh, okay. So who is Zoom user? Please, in case of next time when you're joining a meeting, you need to rename yourself to your name so that we know who we're talking to. Anyways, Zoom user, you can unmute and ask a question. Okay, he's not responding. George Usam.
Okay, good evening, everyone.
Yeah,
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so I want to ask, we've been talking about, I've been waiting to hear if there are any other requirements. I know something as simple as get a notepad, get a pen, laptop requirements, or what exactly is required? Are we going to get more like documents on what is required when you're about to start, at least for each program? Because I've not heard about that here at all.
Okay, so for that, what we've mentioned so far are the basic things you need. When it comes to the training itself, if there's need to share the curriculum and the rest of them, it will be shared with you. But the most important thing, you need to get your laptops, your notepad, and most importantly, data, because the classes will be online. So those are like the basic requirements.
Yeah, thank you, I get, but at least let's get, I think it should be shared on Discord though, or a link to a document so that we know, okay, what type of laptop is needed for this particular session and what just basic requirements. Thank you very much.
Oh, okay. So if I'm to suggest a laptop specification, you know that depending on what you're learning, you need at least a 4 gig RAM laptop to be able to help yourself. So I can't say you must go and get a 16 gig or 8 gig RAM laptop, but the least is a 4 gig RAM laptop. It's not going to disturb you that much.
Okay, so Mama, let me come in there, right?
Okay.
What we'll do, right? What is going to be done, right? Because one of the things we're doing is we're still in an onboarding phase, George. So we're trying as much as possible to kind of hold on certain information. Still, a lot of persons coming, right? But I was actually waiting till after the orientation. By then we have a lot of persons, so we do not have to recycle information a lot of times, right? So for each track, you get to know what is needed. Like, because when you say something about laptops, right, what you probably use for design is definitely not what you're going to use for front end. Is also definitely not what you're going to use to learn mobile application, how to build mobile app. So per track, right, those requirements will be dropped, okay, just to enable you guys prepare. But it's interesting. I think this is the very first time someone is actually asking this kind of question in the two in Kodecamp, right? I think it's the very first time I was asking this kind of question, and kudos to that. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. Emmanuel Balugu, your hand is up. You can ask your question.
Okay, my question is directed to Mr. Ikes. He mentioned the task we were given yesterday that some of ours were not accepted or approved. Like, how are we going to know so we could do it again? That's just my question.
Okay. Yeah. So the thing is this. Let me start with the very first instruction, right? I think when I said that you are submitting a Google document and you should make sure that you gave access to that document, right? So this is what you do. I am not going to call out anybody. Go and check that. That's the very first one. Go and check that you actually gave access, because if you did, you don't have to resubmit. Okay, that's the interesting thing about Google Docs. You don't have to resubmit. Just make sure you have given access. Now, secondly, did you put your full name? If you don't need to forget whether you wrote your full name or not. You don't need to forget if you wrote your Discord name. And so those are the things I see. This is not the task where I get to put out so much energy. No. I'm just telling you how I am, right? And how I'm going to do things. This is not the task for me to put so much energy into having to say, okay, you did not do it like this. I can't give such feedbacks on such trivial tasks. So you know what you submitted, and that's why I want you guys just to learn to pay attention to details. It's very, very important, because there will almost never be a second chance. Almost, I'm not saying never, almost never be a second chance in life, especially when you miss, fall out on certain things. The opportunities you just lose and they don't come back, right? So go back and make sure the two major things I need from you, the two major things are your information and that link, right? And the link should be what I should have a view access. So you can just go back to that, your Google Doc link, and make sure you give access. Once you give access, it will be updated. You don't need to resubmit. If you are not sure of your name, if you're not sure if you wrote your full name, you're not sure if you wrote your full name, or yeah, no problem, go and submit again, right? Or you're not sure if the Discord name you actually put there's no problem. Go and submit again. I'll sort it out. But this is going to be the last time I'm going to take double submissions. It's never going to happen again because I will not accept. I'll take the first one, whether it is good or whether it is bad, right? So we all learn to give in our best and also be careful at the same time. Thank you.
Okay, so in your bong, your hand is up. You're next.
Good evening, everybody. So my question is about the tomorrow's tax, because he mentioned the intimate tax for tomorrow. He said it's going to be for the, sorry, it's not going to concern the beginners, right? That's what I want to confirm. That's one. Secondly, I want to confirm if there will be any certificates by the end of the program.
Okay, so for your first question, yeah, the tax that will be going out tomorrow, it's only for those that are in the intermediate group. Then for certificate, once you graduate, yes, you get certificate.
Okay, let me also answer another question that someone actually asked. Please, it's a big N and a big O if you feel or you decide or somebody prayed for you or somebody saw a revelation that in KodeCamp 3.0 you're going to do two tracks. Please, that revelation is fake, right? You are not allowed to do 2 tracks, just one. Don't come here and do jack of all trades, right? Learn one, perfect one, master one to a great extent before you pick up another. So nobody does 2 tasks. And of course, I have done it before. Once I see your name by magic, by happenstance and circumstance into this, I take you out of the platform. Just 1 track per person. Thank you.
Okay, Malox. Malox, you can ask your question.
Okay, so can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
He just answered my question because I wanted to ask about the whole 2-class thing, but he just answered it. So I guess that answers my question.
Oh, okay, thank you. Wale Design.
All right, good evening, everyone.
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, I have few questions I want to ask. The first one is kind of concerning the track, but in a similar way. What if I'm someone that is an intermediate in probably UI UX and also want to probably brush his knowledge again in as a beginner, and probably can he run the 2 together? That's the first one. Then the second question is concerning our mentors. Is there a way we can recognize them on the Discord app? Did we probably through their username or so? Then the third one, I have some of my guys that said they want to join the training. Can they still join at this moment?
Okay, so for your first question, should I say you already know the answer? Because even joining 1 class, you need a lot of commitment, not to talk about carrying 2. So the answer is no. You can't do both intermediate and beginner. Then for the mentors, they've been introducing themselves on the group on Discord, so you'd see them, and there'll be like a tag for you to recognize them. Then for your third question, yes, they can still join. You just need to share the link to them for them to register.
Okay, thank you.
Edidio on Elijah.
Hello, okay. Good evening, everyone. My question is about the commitment, because I'm getting to know that we have a class tomorrow, and I just really feel it will be, I think it will be really helpful if we get to have a kind of outline of schedule where we know how much time we have to commit to what the assignments, the assessments, and what we have to do for each day, each week, and we plan towards it. Because I felt like the Zoom meeting, I was not actually very much around. my colleague just had to tell me that we have a Zoom meeting and my phone was like off. So if I had seen that earlier, yes, maybe like yesterday, maybe I would have been having at the back of my mind that I have a meeting this evening. So I think it will really help us like know ahead of time how much time we are committing and how outline of activities for each day. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, Buma, yeah, I want to take that. Okay, so as far as outline goes, first of all, the timetable for your classes, days you're going to have classes, that has already been shared on the announcements channel, right? Which that with that you get to know when you have classes and when you don't have classes, right? And classes are just, in fact, the time also is there. Now, as per you not being aware of whether there was a Zoom meeting or no Zoom meeting, that's on you, right? I'm going to be very plain. That's on you. It is your duty to go for information. And this particular meeting was not out of the blue, right? It has we posted it, I think, about 3 days ago or so. It's even on our social media platforms. It's on the announcements channel, right? So it is your duty to go for information. Information, don't be spoon-fed. I'm being generic now, okay? So don't worry, this is not an attack on you, Edidion. I just want to answer on a general level because it will help each and every one of you to always make sure you go for information. As far as outline is concerned, the only basic thing you need to know is this. This is your class time. This is when your classes are holding. And that is currently on the announcements channel. So you just go there and scroll up. You get to see it. Definitely, we can also share it again for you just to, for you to get back to it. That's also fine. But know this. Like I said, information is something you have to go after. Some things will come up, right? Some things can come up, suddenly, but we'll try as much as possible not to make sure you guys are taken unaware. Now, I don't think there's anything I have taken anybody unaware. There's always a information that goes out to kind of give you guys a heads up, right? So please, someone complained about notification, right? Becoming noise and whatever. See, you can actually customize your notification. I would advise that you leave it the way it is for now, right? I would advise you leave it because in the beginning stages, you need to stay ahead. You need to be ahead. You need to be informed. Leave it the way it is. It may be disturbing or what, just leave it for now. When the training, when it starts off in August and you're a bit used to the happenings and the schedule and everything, you get to now know, okay, fine, I can streamline. Because you can do that on Discord. You can streamline the kind of notifications that comes to you, right? Just go to your Discord, go to the click the menu, go to notifications, and then you can just sort that out and know what works for you, right? But as much as schedule is concerned, you just basically need to know what time is your class, what time, how many hours is it, when will your tax be dropped. Of course, that your trainer will communicate to you. So it's not cast on stone. We're not rigid, we are flexible, right? But a lot of things of course are already predefined. But the general thing I'm saying is this: it is your duty to go for information. Very, very important. Just swallow that, just take it, right? You may want to say, okay, fine, but we should do this, we should do that. Don't worry, we will do it. But first of all, accept that you should go for information. Very, very important. Thank you very much.
Okay, so is there any other question that we've not answered? Because I'm saying, how many tasks are we going to be having in a week? They've already answered that. It's depending on your mentor. Ike, please, you might need to answer this. When mentors were introduced, I saw Node.js and React for front-end developers. I'm a beginner and I thought we'll be doing HTML and CSS and JavaScript.
You saw front end now. Front end dev, that's where you do your that's where you do your HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Okay, so that's front end in the person of Simple Soul, right? So that's going to be your trainer, right? So I hope that answers your question.
Oh, okay. So is there another question? Okay, Noel, you can unmute and ask your question.
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Oh, sorry, please. I'm not supposed to be asking this question, but I feel the need to ask. We are starting our class fully August, and as a corper, like by August I will be in camp. So, and we don't have access to the system. Like we can't even go to the camp with a laptop. So I want to know, like, the first 3 weeks of our program, can it be done on a mobile phone? Because I wouldn't want to miss a task, because I don't want to be kicked out. That's why I have to ask the question.
Okay, let me answer you. So for corpers, right? I understand you're going to prepare to serve your country, so we're not going to penalize you for that. I had to wait for the orientation to be sure that there are more persons like you. Someone had actually reached out to me regarding that. So that being said, I'm going to this is what you do, right? Let me just put it this way so I don't actually forget, and I also don't want people to what's it called, abuse it, right? Send me a DM.
Okay.
Send me, for everyone here who is a corper, who is actually going in August to you know, for the 3 weeks, whatever, please send me a direct message stating, your direct message should state your name, when you're leaving, what track you are, when you're coming back. Now it's going to cater for your 3 weeks, nothing more, nothing less. By 3 weeks, I expect you to be back and continue. But these classes are classes you can also join online. It's your mobile phone, you can join via YouTube. So subscribe to our YouTube channel. So once classes start, you're notified. I know laptops and everything. So the reason I need to know is know about you guys, so I know how to, you know, kind of make sure things are, you know, a bit manageable for you till you get back. But we are not going to just dispose you. Okay, we'll make sure we try to make things a bit easy for you guys. Okay.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you. So the people who are raising their hands, you can actually just raise your hand normally now. It's a shit. Someone say, can I enroll for more than one course? I think I've answered that. No.
That has been answered.
Yeah. Eshiet, go ahead.
Okay, good evening, everyone. The question I want to ask is, would there be like a course outline? Maybe you will know about what will be done by next week on a particular track so that we can do a preview if we are fast enough to know what we start study on, like outline of what we're having in a week. We can be maybe make a preview on that before the instructor will be teaching us in a live session.
Okay. Regarding that, so that will be done. Okay, it will be done per track. We'll give you guys an overview. Okay.
Okay.
For those of you that will actually go and prepare, I hope you will prepare. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
That is not by collecting outline. You prepare ahead of time. Okay, well, that will be done in shares. Okay, thank you.
All right, Jason. Hello, Jason.
Good evening, everybody. I just have a simple question to ask. Is the program only for Nigerians?
Okay. I wonder how simple that question is. Okay, it's not for Nigerians. Okay, it's not only, rather, for Nigerians. Of course, we have persons from Kenya, from Ghana, Rwanda, who has actually even signed up on this. I think one of the persons who actually did the part of the break, what was it called? Icebreaker, I think it's from Ghana, if I'm not mistaken, right? So it's not just for Nigerians. You can, if at our last cohorts, we had Indians, we had people from UK, we had people from US actually register, right? So it's not just a Nigerian thing, right? It's for everyone anywhere in the world. As far as you can do it, as far as you're available and you're committed, KodeCamp is there for you.
Thank you.
Okay, so is there another question before we move on to the next? If I hand over to Fivo.
I think Sam is raising his hand.
Who?
Sammy, Sammy.
Okay, Sammy, you can ask.
Okay, good evening, everyone.
Yeah, good evening.
I just wanted to ask if permitted if we can do two sections.
Sorry,
Like,
Sammy, I
for
can't
example,
hear you.
I said I just wanted to ask if it's possible we can do two sections. If it's permitted, if we can do two sections at the same time, and maybe UI, UX, and mobile app development.
No, we've actually answered that question. You can't do more than one course.
Okay.
Yeah.
And also for the internship, I don't know, would it be available for people outside Nigeria also?
Yes, it
Yes,
will
it
be
will.
available for people outside Nigeria as far as you know how to, as far as you're good. Of course, it's available
Yeah.
for remote internships, of course, definitely.
Okay, thank you.
All right. So, is there another question before I draw the curtain here? Okay, so there's no other question. Favor, over to you. Thank you, guys.
Okay, thank you very much, Boba, for that session. If you have any other questions, Discord is always open. Right. So for the last part of this orientation, which is the final thoughts, I'm going to be calling on my able boss, engineer Eniebiet. Sir, are you on the call, please?
Hello.
We can hear you,
Yes,
sir.
I am. How is everybody doing?
Fine, thank you, sir.
Okay, so I just want to welcome everybody. This has been a long session, so I won't talk much. Maybe we'll have another session where I can talk to everybody. But yeah, we've all talked about tech and all the possibilities in there. But someday we'll also talk about the challenges. I'm happy that you guys here, you've taken the first big leap, the first big step, right, to step into the tech world. You won't be the same after today. That's one thing I can guarantee you. You will not be the same. You become a changed person, in so many different ways. So yeah, I'm not going to say it again, like I said, I'm not going to say too much, but I just want to encourage everyone. For those who have done a great task, I hope everybody did that. It's very important to do that because it sets the mood. It puts you in the right frame of mind that you need to be in order to face what is coming. Because Codecamp is going to be very challenging. But one thing I want at the end of the day from everyone is, if everybody can get to the finals, that would be excellent. The question is, can everybody get to the finals? Codecamp 1, we only had 153 people or so. Codecamp 2, we had about 350 or so, right? Can we get 1,000 people into the finals? Can we get 800, 700? Test yourself, challenge yourself. I'll be very happy. So don't get left behind. No matter how your schedule is, no matter how difficult, I know a lot of people have issues with power, with internet. That's the situation of the country. But whatever it takes, that's tech for you, right? You don't give up. You continue to push. Like Ike did in his first slide, he talked about setting a target for yourself and attitude. So the attitude is a never giving up attitude. Never give up, no matter what challenges that you face. You have to overcome the challenges. You have to set a target for yourself. You have to achieve your target. And if your target is nothing else in this Codecamp, it should be that you can get to the finals. Because the next step is bigger and you keep going from there, right? There are jobs, but you have to do a lot for you to get there. right? So I just want to encourage everybody. It's going to be tough, but you need to be tougher. And I'm sure all of you, I hope all of you make it, and we'll see at the end, at the other end of things. We'll have another session, hopefully, where I can actually talk to everyone. Since the time is already fast spent, and then I'll give you people some guidance on how you can survive and excel in this tech journey. Yeah, that's it from me. Back to you, Favor.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Okay, before we round up for the night, I mean, we've stayed longer on this call. I don't know if the program manager has anything to say before we say our good night. Akis, please come on the call.
Okay, thank you very much, Favor. So, nothing that hasn't been said, but I just want to uh welcome you guys to CodeCamp 3.0 once again. It's going to be an interesting journey. And then please, a lot of persons, I'm giving you a heads up, right? I'm going to be very, very, very harsh on a lot of persons, but trust me, it's nothing personal, right? CodeCamp has to bring out the best in you, and you do not get gold without it actually going through fire. So you will pass through fire. Just know that. Okay, I'll give you as much fire and heat as possible. We as a team will give you as much fire as heat as possible. But the end is, of course, is just to refine you. So I look forward to actually seeing you guys on the workspace at the end of CodeCamp doing wonderful things. So thank you so much. And please make sure you go for information. Pay attention to your announcement channel. Pay attention to your announcement channel. Pay attention to your announcement channel. It is very, very, very important. Someone said good also needs code. Of course it does. That's why I'll also be hot. And then I'll actually be very cold. But not the kind of code that you think. Code actually has the other side. Okay, so thank you very much. I think Engineer Lawrence's hand is raised. I think I'll just hand over to him and then back to Favor, and then we close out. Thank you so much.
Okay, please, I just want to add, I think it is safe, just a few seconds, it is safe to say that anybody that participated in an orientation like this, I think has some level of authority to invite other people to come and join. You've heard, is different. I reached out for something, I don't even know what it's all about. Now, I don't know, is equally permitted to talk to friends. Okay, I think I attended the orientation. I'm not going to tell you what to say, just consider it like, okay, I think you should join this or something. It's something very important. I just need to, because the actual, program and everything is going to kick off very soon. So there are still windows, there are still vistas that people can actually jump on it, be your brother's keeper. That's basically it. Thank you. I can as well help them to register if they're finding issues with the Discord, and since you have already joined or something like that. So yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Lawrence. Thank you to all of you who stayed to the end of this session. Looking forward to, doing a lot of good stuff for you guys. Like I said, bring in your A game, your grits, and every other thing, okay? So we're going to be saying our good nights now. Thank you very much for staying to the end. Have a wonderful night.
Night, guys.